Pendlebury to join us. Welcome back to the show. This is Before the Game. He's one of the champions of the competition. He plays for the mighty Magpies. His name's Scott Pendlebury, everyone. Mickey, what a super player. What a super player
Well, he is a super player, but I understand you've been copping a bit of a caning on Twitter.
I have been, mate.
What's happened?
I got alerted that the game started at 7:45 Friday night. And people was wondering where I was. So I assure you I was out there. Just wasn't doing a hell of a lot.
So you play one bad game in 3 years and they come after you. It's pretty brutal, isn't it?
That's the super coach industry, isn't it?
It's all people care about, isn't it? The Supercoach numbers.
Yeah, I think they didn't really care that Collingwood lost. They were just disappointed in a few of their performances.
Just told them it wasn't your fault. You were playing against the best team of all time.
Seriously, they're on heat. They're on heat.
No, not all of us. Some of us have been trying to be humble about the whole thing. You may just want to turn your head because we're about to have a look at the scores from last night. I suspect you don't want to have a look at them again. There they are. It's pretty comprehensive. You don't see Collingwood get beaten like that very much in the last 5 or 6 years.
Been a while.
Certainly by us, anyway. By Carlton, anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk to Scott about that. Making matters worse, of course, was the fact that Luke Ball, who's one of your hardest men, is now lost to you for the entire season, we learned today. This was the incident in the first quarter, at least. This was the first incident. We were worried then. It looked like he was okay because he warmed up and then he came back on in the second term. But this was Luke Ball's final football moment, really, for 2012, because confirmed today is that he's ruptured the ACL. Had he done it the first time, and then did he just sort of roll the dice and say, I'll give it another go?
I'm not too sure. I haven't spoken to Baller yet, but, you know, he's a super courageous player, and even to get back out there and, you know, attempt to tackle people, it just shows you, you know, how much heart he's got. And,
He's as hard as nails.
Yeah, he is, and it's, I think the whole AFL's really disappointed.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. Have you talked to him today?
I haven't had a chance. I sent him a text. No doubt everyone's ringing him and wishing him well.
Have you spoken to people who have done their ACL about how it feels? Like because you hear some guys say, well, I didn't know how bad it was. I felt like I could keep going on it. But then, you know, later on they find out exactly how bad the damage is.
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of guys, McCaffrey and Cracker at the moment with ACLs, and both those guys mentioned that you can still run straight lines, and you're sort of a bit shell-shocked. Yeah. You know, that you don't think you've done your knee because you can still run, but that lateral movement's the one that gets you.
But tell all those guys you can come back bigger and better than ever. Matty Cruz is really firing, right? He's back.
He was firing last night, that's for sure.
Then it was watch Hughesy turn everything back to Carlton for the whole night. It's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had a chance to for the last few years.
Good call.
Now, Scott, we'll get your views, no doubt, and hopefully you'll share with us something of what Nathan Buckley told you. But first, let's listen to how Nathan Buckley assessed the game with the press straight after the match last night.
As you've discussed, injuries, you know, rotations are affected, X, Y, Z. But in the end, you look deeper than that and say, okay, well, the effort just wasn't there tonight. We've had a fairly big wake-up call tonight. And if we thought we were going along in the right direction as coaches and as players in 2012, well, then we've just found out that, geez, we better sharpen up a little bit.
He's such a straight talker. How did he handle you? Was it true that he just brought in the stat sheet and said...
It was pretty similar to what you're saying just then. Really honest, and that's how he is with the media as well. So,
are you in his Supercoach team as well?
I'm not too sure. I don't know if Bucks plays Supercoach, but no, he was. He was, you know, put up a few stats where we were comprehensively beaten, and you know, addressed that. And we all know where we stand with Bucks, and that's a good thing.
And you had it. Like, do you acknowledge? Obviously, you've been a superstar. And
Here it comes.
No,
Where's this going?
No, I'm just. I mean, you've had your worst night for quite a while, didn't you? No, that's not. I mean, he's going to win the Brownlow probably. Just
He's
had one.
sitting at the desk.
He knows that. Was there anything personally for you last night? Were you flat last night?
No, I felt good going into the game. Preparation was good, but just didn't deliver on a performance. And personally, I'm really looking forward to Port Adelaide.
Yep.
The general consensus seems to be there was a certain lack of intensity on the ground, and I think this could be true of all levels. at the club.
Really?
I don't want to be the one to say it, but I just have. I think I've worked out where it's coming from. Let's have a look. It starts at the grassroots level. Have a look at this kid. This is everything that's wrong with Collingwood at the moment. Have a look at the intensity displayed by this bloke. Bang. Bang. Tell Bucks to show you that before and after training and you'll be back.
Yeah, well, we obviously we need to do a little bit of work with the juniors.
What do you say, as one of the senior guys at the footy club, what do you say to people who are going to dredge up the conversation again that why did they get rid of Mickey Malthouse? They were flirting with form, everything was going beautifully. Why did they make the call? What do you say to people who are going to bring that up?
I think you got to look deeper, and it's we've got the same playing group. There's not we haven't turned over 30 guys from last year, and forget Bucks and forget Mix. It's the leaders of the football club that put their hands up, and we dished up a poor performance last night, and we've got to make amends with actions.
Yep. But it's not just Nathan and Mick, is it? I mean, his coaching structure, there's one remaining coach. It's a wholesale change that was made in that coaching panel, which must take some adjustment as well.
Yeah, but as players, I suppose the assistant coaching fraternity in the AFL gets changed and chopped around a hell of a lot. So we're used to 3 or 4 different assistant coaches coming in. So that's not a shock at all.
Okay.
Now, Scott, the big story this weekend in football is probably Dustin Fletcher's 350th game. Can you believe that in this day and age someone can play that many games of football?
Yeah, it's an incredible effort. I think it was 93 his first game, and I would have been about 4 or 5.
Well, actually, you're actually out by a couple of years. We've got some vision of his debut here. He had a wonderful game. He did really well that day too.
That's just after the ball war.
What a super player he has been. One of the great veterans of the competition, one of the great veterans of before the game, of course, is Ryan Fitzgerald. And we're honouring Dustin Fletcher tonight, and I know Fitzy's out there somewhere. Fitzy, welcome to the show.
Well, it is a massive night tonight, Andy, because it is Dustin Fletcher's 350th game. They're playing the Suns. You guys have sent me up onto the Gold Coast to cover this momentous occasion. I'm out the front of Fletcher's hotel. He gets a whole hotel to himself tonight. And I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, because there's no atmosphere. No one gives a stuff. Have a look at the Fletcher fans over here. Oh, unbelievable scenes here on the Gold Coast. Dustin Fletcher, you bloody betcha. I'll tell you, one thing that I am a little bit disappointed about, though, is there's not much security around here. But there is one man that I just found out, Dustin Fletcher's #1 bodyguard. It's Essendon legend Simon Madden. Come over here, Matt.
They've brought me in because there's very few people with experience in this area.
But Matt, can you control these girls at all?
You've seen what they've been doing. We've got fences. We've got people. We can do it. I am a little bit worried that a man in his 40s still playing football has all these young 14-year-old girls following him. But we'll look at that later.
Now, Mads, you finished your career. Fletch started his. Can you remember him as a young pup around the club?
Yeah, some snotty-nosed little kid who couldn't get a kick.
and mate, you've got the games record at Essendon. It's 378 games. You reckon Fletch can knock that off next year?
Well, he's got to play next year, and a lot can happen in a pre-season, especially if I'm involved.
That's right. And what's the key to your longevity, just before you go, Mads? How do you spend so much time out in the field?
Good living.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Well, how did you last so bloody long then?
Very good living.
Well done. Well, amazing scenes down here, and it's not just teenage girls. Can you have a look over here? We've got Smokin' Joe Mercedes over here and his son. Have a look at this poster. Have a look at this. Have a look at Smokin' Joe. He's got the Fletcher infection, everyone. Unbelievable. Have a look at this kid. Hello, how you doing? All right. There you go. Back to you guys.
Crazy scene, absolutely crazy scenes. Can't believe what's going on down there. We're going to take a break. Pandemonium is broken out down there at Fletcher's Hotel. Scotty Pendlebury's going to stick around on the other side of the break. The latest before the game Bachelor. Welcome back to the show. Scott Pendlebury's champion of the competition from the Collingwood Footy Club, our special guest, Michael.
Yes, I was going to open up with a couple of curly questions, but there's just no point because you're good. I've seen the way you handle yourselves with journalists, and they can't get through. Have a look at this. This is from the final series last year.
We don't have a match this week and a week off just to sort of free up a bit mentally and physically.
How does the week off work for you guys, Scott?
You don't play this weekend.
Bang! End of conversation right there. Well done, Pendles. I like your style.
We're pretty stupid, aren't we? As a good, the journos out there are pretty stupid as well.
Even that's a rhetorical question.
Right there. Pendles, what isn't stupid is a smartphone app that you've developed and come up with called Scott Pendlebury's Footy Masterclass that you can download now from your app store. Talk us through it. What will people find on the app?
I think there's 9 videos, probably about an hour's worth of footage on there, just of basic football skills that I probably need to go back and watch after last night's performance. So, and there's
You'll still win the Brownlow, man, all right? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'd like the premiership, mate.
Yeah, no, you're not getting that. So
So for any youngsters getting into the game and want some tips, get on to Scott Pendlebury's Footy Masterclass at your app store. But you're not the only one at the Collingwood Football Club with an app.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware. Heath Shaw has developed an app. Let's have a look. Shaw Bet. And you can bet on the first Collingwood goal kicker there last night. I don't know if you've downloaded that one, Pendles.
I think Maxi's got the same one.
Scott, you were down at Preston today watching your VFL side go around, and your brother, I gather. Tell us, you've got at least 2 forced inclusions next week because Ball's out and Ben Reid's going to miss 3 weeks, we gather. Who of Alan Didak, Nathan Brown, Ben Johnson, who all got around today, is one of them ready to go?
Yeah, I think Ben Johnson played really well today. Obviously did his first run back, and he looked really sharp in the second half, kicked a nice goal. Brownie obviously coming off that knee injury. I'm not sure how quickly they'll rush him back, but I'd like to hope all 3 of them can get back pretty soon.
But realistically?
Probably Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Tell us seriously, because I know you get asked a lot of questions. You're long-term re-signing at the footy club, which is fantastic, one club player, which is great. But how close, to your knowledge, did another club come to putting an offer in front of you that would have been kind of tempting? I mean, because we understand it's difficult for you to talk about this sort of stuff, you know, when you're in the throes of negotiations, but now that it's all done and dusted and you're not going anywhere, did it get to the point where you saw numbers from another club?
How much were you on?
No, never was it brought up by my management to seriously have a look at something. The best of my knowledge, there was...
Didn't you even ask your management?
No, I'm happy at Collingwood, you know. I've just played in a premiership a couple of years ago, and I see more success in the future, so I'm more than happy to stick around.
Yeah, well, and they're very happy to have you, obviously. You're a superstar. But money is tight down there, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Dane Swan is a superstar too, and I want to bring you back to this footage. I need to... This is today. I mean, you shouldn't be driving away from the Westpac Centre in that car. Do you know what's going on there?
I think that's his new car too. Exactly that.
That has got issues. Do you know, I mean, do you know what his normal car is?
I think he has
Lexus.
a Ford or a Lexus. I'm not too sure.
It's a Lexus. Hey, now, ladies. Thank you. If there are any ladies out there, single ladies, I'm calling you. I've got some good news.
Now it's time for the Before the Game Bachelor.
Bachelor number 3 is Alex Fasolo. He wears... He wears number 1, so he's easy to find in the footy record. He has no tattoos or all his teeth. A rarity for anyone involved with Collingwood. He's a self-confessed mama's boy, so if you enjoy cooking, cleaning and wiping bottoms, you're in. He's from Perth, so he probably knows all the cool nightclubs that Ben Cousins went to. He knows Harry O'Brien, and Harry met the Dalai Lama. His teammates are Ball, Wood, Goldsack and Sidebottom, which is pretty funny. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alex Fasolo.
What do you say, Scotty? Man, would he be a good catch?
What is he... what do you reckon?
He doesn't lack confidence, which is a good thing. And
what would you would say to the women of Melbourne who are watching now?
probably nothing that he was not going to tell you himself.
And that looks like a bit of a One Direction haircut I'm looking at there too.
Are you looking to settle down, Alex? You are?
Not anytime soon, to be honest. So.
No, you're not looking to settle down.
I think that's
What are you doing here?
I thought I'd put myself out there.
He's looking to settle down a number of times over the next few years.
Alex, all the very best as you search the world for love. We hope it works out well for you.
A little bit.
Good luck, good luck.
Cheers, guys.
Alex Fasolo, a very special guest, as is Scott Pendlebury, everybody. We know that they're going to win many more games than they lose between now and the end of 2012. Thanks for coming on. Good luck. That's it. We're going to take a break here on Before the Game. On the other side of this, Brad Scott to join us.